Listen, Teak, there are certain jobs that are easy. There are other jobs that are not. And one of the tougher jobs, really, in my opinion, not just in the Northeast, but in the country, has been Rutgers basketball. So back in the mid-'70s, 74, 75, 75, 76, they made the NCAA tournament and beyond 2 years in a row. Since then, whether it was Eddie Jordan or Mike Rice or Freddie Hill or Gary Waters or Bannon or Wenzel or whomever else you want to mention, they just couldn't do it. And I want to know how Steve Pikiell was able to get this foundation and now really create a template of expectations, because that's what he's done. Coach, you're dancing again. Tiki and Tierney, welcome to the Fan. How you doing today, Steve?
Guys, I'm doing great, and I really appreciate you having me on.
It's a pleasure. I don't know if it's the same exact situation, but I remember when, Coughlin took over the Giants or Parcells took over the Jets after a 1-15 year. I'm certainly not saying Rutgers was that down with Eddie Jordan by any stretch, but you had some repairing to do. You had to change things. You had to implement your vision, and it's not an easy job, and the history of the program bears that out. I know you have resources now, but when you got there, it was a different job. What was mission one for you to turn Rutgers into a basketball school?
Well, first we had to get our radio situation with Jerry Recco. that was a key for us.
I like
we
it.
Got him on board. We got a great radio guy. But
You do.
honestly, I was just, excited to get the job. I knew it would be a challenging job, but great people at Rutgers. It's a world-class university. And, playing in the Big Ten gives you a whole nother platform to recruit to. And they built new practice facilities for us, which are state-of-the-art. And I got a great staff, and I got a great group of players, as you guys can imagine, that were, probably under-recruited and wanted to get better and had a little chip on their shoulder. And, I've been blessed. These guys have gotten better, and they've taken, our program to new heights. And, it's just a great university, and now we're able to play on, this kind of stage and playing a great Notre Dame team. So we got to play well, and everyone's earned their way into this tournament. But Rutgers is a great place, and I'm just honored to be the coach there.
Yeah, Coach, and I think it's interesting what you said about, the Big Ten helps a ton because when you think about it from a conference standpoint, Rutgers doesn't feel like it fits in the Big Ten. In football, we know that they got beat up for a while, but Shiano's starting to turn that around a little bit. How many of your kids even knew where it was in New Jersey? You know what I mean? Because it doesn't fit necessarily with the demographic of what the Big Ten usually is, but you guys have started to thrive in this Big Ten conference.
Well, I will tell you, Greg Schiano, an awesome hire in football, one of the great people too.
Yep.
And, we had Coach Stringer too, a Hall of Fame coach on the women's side who won and did an unbelievable job. And like you said, it's a league, 14 teams in our league. 9 of us got to the NCAA tournament. It's an unbelievable league. I think people start seeing the opportunities playing against the best coaches and the best leagues. And some of the marquee names, the Michigans, the Michigan States, the Indianas. I think that got recruits excited. And, I was lucky. I got some great kids to stay home with Ron Harper Jr., Paul Mulcahy, Cliff Amore, and Geo Baker came from New Hampshire. Nobody wanted him. He was 479, best recruit in the country, but he really is a lot better than that. I don't know who was doing the rankings back in those days, but I knew my eyes ranked him a lot higher than that, and he got a lot better. But we have great kids. We built it around great people. They're tough kids. They're from great families. And what I'm most proud of, they're great students, too, all Dean's List kids, kids that, fight for Rutgers, and they fight for themselves.
That's a terrific university. There's no doubt. You just got to get a decent radio team there, Steve, as you said before. So we're talking to Steve Pikiell, head coach of Rutgers, Notre Dame. That's Mike Bray's team. He's been there forever since he left Delaware. I guess that was about 2000, something like that. The first 4 9-10 start. I was out in Dayton a couple of years ago with St. John's, and I think it's an awesome experience. I don't know how coaches process that. I don't know what your expectations were. I know the metrics. The net rankings weren't incredibly favorable. I thought that was misleading. I really never thought you guys were on the bubble. But as you guys sat down for your selection viewing party, were you pretty sure that you guys were going? What were you thinking, Steve?
Well, Brandon, I was just really hopeful that the committee would look at our whole body of work. We had one bad night in November, really, is what it leads to, and that's where the net went. And we're obviously a different team in January and February, and took a lot of pride in our team, getting better. And, we beat 4 ranked teams in a row. We're the first team in college basketball history to do that was not ranked. So, when you do things like that, you obviously can play against anybody. We beat the number 1 ranked team, Purdue, early in the year. So we obviously, could play with anybody. But we had it, when we were figuring out our team, and Geo Baker was injured for 3. We went a 6-game stretch where we went 3-3, and he didn't play in those games. So I hope that they had taken a look at our entire body of work, and they did. And they rewarded us, and we're in this tournament. And as you know, Dayton is just a spectacular venue. I've been blessed to be here a few times as an assistant at George Washington University playing in the Atlantic 10 tournament. Their fan support here is off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
People are knowledgeable. It'll be great. It'll be a great environment. I told our kids, they'll enjoy this environment, especially coming off of last year where nobody could go to the game. So we're excited to be here. I'm glad we're playing again right away, too, because we lost to Iowa in the Big Ten tournament, about a week ago. So I'd like to get right back on the horse.
Yeah, and Coach, I think you have a little bit of an advantage because I think at least 3/4, maybe 4 of the 5 of your starters are all upperclassmen. And so while it's unique in a sense, but even though you guys have been there before, these guys aren't intimidated by big games and a big stage.
Well, I will tell you, we have the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, and Caleb McConnell, who's from Dayton. Gio's been around. He's made a lot of big shots for us. Ron Harper is on the Julius Erving watch list as one of the top 5 small forwards in the country. Paul Mulcahy led our league in assists, 14 teams in our league. And Cliff Amore is probably the best young big guy in the Big Ten Conference. So, we've been through a lot with this group. I think they're a hungry group. And we defend, and I think that's so important at this time of the year. And when we're on top of our game defensively, we can hold teams to low numbers. And, I know we're excited about being here. We know we're playing Notre Dame, as good a program. He's as good a coach as there's been in college basketball. So we know the challenges ahead of us. But there's a lot of challenges in our league for the last 3 or 4 years, too. Beating the Purdues and the Indiana's and Ohio State's. This league kind of hardens you, and hopefully that experience of going through our league will help us in this tournament.
Coach, one of the crazy stories here, and I saw him play, I guess that was the Wagner game, the NEC championship game, the kid Peter Kiss, who obviously Rutgers fans know. Mm-hmm. You saw him in practice, his skill set. I know that he could play. Are you surprised he's averaging over 30 points a game his last 12, 13 times out? He's a beast, man.
He really is. He's a great kid, too, and I'm happy for him. He's done a great job there at Brighton. He's getting a lot of opportunity to play and take a lot of shots. And, he's talented, always had that in him. I'm proud he was part of our program, helped us build it, and he graduated. Now he's on to Bryant doing some great things. So we look forward to seeing him play.
That's great. That's great. Well, listen, Steve, wanted to certainly give Rutgers some pop. It is a great university. As you said earlier, the program's on the rise. I think it's worth repeating. The last time the Rutgers program basketball went to back-to-back NCAA appearances, 1974, 75, 76, 75, 76. So it's been a while, and you're at the helm, so you deserve props, as do the young men. Enjoy Dayton. Go get a dub. Take out the Irish, and we'll talk to you down the road, Steve.
I look forward to talking to you guys again. Thanks so much for having me on.
Pleasure, Coach.
You got it.
Good luck.
Watch Recco with the putting stuff on the room. Recco putting everything on the room.
Exactly.
Rutgers will take care of it. I'm jealous that he's doing games, and St. John's didn't even get to the NIT.
That kid Peter Kiss is I was just reading the Post article on him. He's becoming the villain.
He is. He scores. He does push-ups.
That's right.
He's a bit of a wild child. He's
screaming
good for the game.
Screaming at the journalist.
Yeah.
That one's for you. Type of thing. It's crazy.
No, I saw. I watched some of that Wagner game when they had to stop the game. Remember that?
Yes, that's right.
And Grasso, by the way,
that was ugly though. That got
that was horrible. You don't want to see that stuff.
No.
But the kid, the coach from Bryant, Grasso, he's going to move on at some point. I think really soon. Be interesting to see where he goes. But this kid's he's a little bit like white chocolate. Like he just emits that energy, like that kind of player. I'm not saying with the handle, but just energetic.
Where is Notre Dame Prep. Where did he go to high school? Notre Dame.
I'm
Prep.
not sure where he went to high
Yeah,
school.
that might not even
I'm
be
not
in
sure.
New
There's a
York.
couple of Notre Dame preps.
Yeah, I
so
know
I'm not
I know
really
he's from New York. I just don't know where this high school is.
877-337-6666.